Hey guys, what's going on? Jimmy the Owl here, and for some reason I'm playing New World, mostly because there's a new expansion out, and I really wanted to see if it was really as much of a rip-off as people were making it out to be. The problem is I can't really do anything in the expansion till you hit 60, so we're in the leveling process right now. We're currently cooking in the kitchen, trying to bake something that's half realizable as a build, and just having fun. To be honest, it's actually been really fun. New World is a fun game when it wants to be. I'm not really bored, I'm not really finding any problems. It feels very indie, which is weird to say it's an Amazon game, but nothing really feels as satisfying as some of the more AAA MMORPGs out there do with their effects and their abilities. It feels very indie in that regard, but except from that, I've been enjoying myself very much. Why is this video being made now if I can't play the expansion? Well, because I got the first part of the expansion. See, one of the things that's pissing a lot of people off right now with the expansion is that it's locking some things that people think should be baseline behind a paywall. One of those things is mounts. Mounts are currently locked behind a £25 paywall, and it's probably the biggest part of the expansion at the moment from what I can tell. Just looking at the description of the expansion, it doesn't add a lot of things, and mounts are a big selling point of it. I argue they should be baseline. They should be in a free update, and the expansion should expand on the game instead of adding features that should already be in the game. But I'm not here to like float that boat around or whatever. I just wanted to talk about the fact that the leveling and stuff baseline seems really good now and seems decent from when I first played at launch. They actually seem to have made it more player friendly and user friendly to get through the main campaign and the leveling and the faction stuff. Everything just seems much more nicer and easier to do now than what I remember it being on launch. With that being said, I got to the mount part. You gotta get to 25. Not only are they making me pay, they lock it behind a level wall, so I got a paywall and a level wall. That's awesome. Once you hit 25, you can go do the quest to get your horse. Now, my biggest complaint with the mounts aren't that they're behind a paywall, not that I gotta wait till level 25, which is a big ask for me. Not that they are bad in any way, because they're pretty decent. They're not like Guild Wars or anything like that. They're pretty generic moving and they're just a speed up mechanic. My problem is there's no cool mounts, and my bigger problem is that there's no mounts to grind for. One of the best things about games that have mounts is all the mounts that you can go and grind for, either by craftables or by actually getting them from drops. Like, even that Genshin clone that I can't remember the name of, Tower of Fantasy, had mounts that were grindable in-game. More than 3, which is the amount of amounts that you'll be able to grind from drops, and the other one is just buy a different colour in the shop, and everything else you have to purchase with real money, which is a bit of a scam in my mind. Not only have you charged me for the mount system, but now you're charging me for 6 different mounts in each category, which is, by the way, laughably low, with only having horse, wolf, and fucking lion, and all those changes are literally just better colours on armoured horse, lion, wolf. I don't know, the mount system, it should have had a mount system to begin with, and the game's launch should have had a mount system, but it didn't, and I can let that slide. It should have had one sooner, I can let that slide. The fact that it's only happening now is bare bones, not a lot of mounts, no mounts to grind for. It's kind of laughable. If the next expansion / update doesn't add some variety to the mounts, or add some grind worthwhile mount drops, rare mounts, that's like all the cool things around mounts, is getting these rare cool looking mounts that not everyone has. If they don't do any of that, it'll be interesting to see how the community takes that on the nose, because 9% of the mounts are bought through the in-game store, which is already laughable, but I digress with that. And the other, you can buy free and grind free, and that's it. The mounts are kind of laughably poor. The mount system itself is fine. They added races around and stuff. You even have a system with races. Why not add like fucking really challenging, really hard races? Like, you're gonna have to plan the route out to make sure you exactly get the seconds down. and put horses and wolves and lions behind that. Fuck it, like, let's add some different mounts while we're at it. Why can't I ride an alligator? There's alligators big enough in this game for me to ride. I don't care. There's all the creatures that you fight that are big enough for me to ride, that look cooler than the generic fucking picks we got here. I don't know, I just don't like any of the choices they've thrown out for mounts. There's not many choices. They put most of them behind a paywall. All of them are just recolors and rearmors. Nothing interesting or cool or different. I'm hoping that they build upon this and don't just leave it as, look at all this cool stuff. Oh, by the way, don't forget to stop off at the shop on Halloween to buy this, like, dead-looking horse for, like, 10 quid for no reason other than they can just do that and people seem to be willing to pay. I don't know. The mount system's very confusing to me on that regard, but everything else is fine with it. The races are fun. The movement is alright. It's what I expected, to be honest. I didn't expect much, and I didn't get much from it. It makes traversing much more quicker and easier, which is all I wanted, because you don't have a sprint. So this just makes life nicer and easier. There seems to be a lot of little systems with the riding, as well as it adds another talent for you to level up and increase and stuff. I don't know what leveling it up actually does. I don't know if it increases your speed, increases how much you can sprint for and stuff like that, but I'll figure that out in due time, I would suppose. So yeah, that's what this video is, to talk about the mount system, which is already not having a good start for this £25 expansion, because it's already showing that there's not a lot in the mounts that you don't just get, you have to pay for. I already bought the game, and now they're trying to nickel and dime me for every other mount that they can. It rubs me the wrong way. But anyway, yeah, that's the mounts. That's my complaints, but overall, like, the system itself is fine. Just the mounts that you've got to work with are not very fine. That's, like, my takeaway with the New World mounts. But stay tuned for more New World, because I got a level of 60, so there'll probably be a halfway intermission at some point to be like, look, this is what I've done in New World. I'm enjoying it and stuff. So pay attention to that. The Wayfinder should have its announcement soon. Lords of the Fallen is out soon, so a lot of stuff is happening. So there'll be, like, progressive updates on the channel as days go by, I would think. But that's the New World experience I've got so far. The base game leveling is fine, and it seems to be a lot better than when it launched. I haven't tried the flail. I've seen people use the flail against me in PvP. It seems pretty good. It just seems like another alternative, a much needed alternative, I should say, to sword and board, to give a shield another weapon to go with, which is nice. Other than that, yeah, they're my two things with the expansion so far that I got to test. So far, flail is a weapon, the mounts are mounts, they work, they do their job. They're just a bit naff in their systems at the moment. I can't wait to get to the actual expansion with the takeaway I'm having from the mounts, which from the reviews is like the only good part. I can't wait. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.